Hello everyone, my name is Bardock, and as I'm sure you've probably already seen, there was a possible leak about Generation 8 of Pokemon. And well, I thought it would be an interesting topic to cover, and kinda give my thoughts on it. So for this video, I'm gonna go line by line, telling you what the leak said was going to be about the game, and then I'm gonna kinda put my own comments in after the line. I'll be pulling in comments from my Discord and other sources as well, but just a reminder that none of this is in any way confirmed and may very well be false. But for argument's sake, and the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that it's true. So the first item is Scorbunny's Final Evolution. Now the Final Evolution typing is going to be Fire and Steel, which to me would be really interesting, because even though it would have a 4 times weakness to Water, Grookey's Final Evolution is going to be Grass and Fighting, which, just like my fan theory, I'm totally fine with that. It might be a little bit disappointing because Chestnut was also Grass and Fighting, and was just a little while ago. But it would still be only the third Pokemon overall with that typing, so no big deal there. Sobble's Final Evolution is going to be Water Ghost, which matches what we know about him being timid and liking to hide. The first argument that the leak is false is the secondary typing of Grookey and Sobble. Basically, Sobble's secondary typing cancels out Grookey's secondary typing. And while that is interesting, my answer to that is, if you're using a Grass-type Pokemon against a Water-type Pokemon and decide to use a Fighting-type move, you kind of deserve the sadness of that not being able to hit. So just like the earlier games, the rival is the opposite-gendered player character. And what I mean by that is, whichever character you don't pick, the male or the female, that is going to be your rival for the game. They aren't going to be a unique character like they have been. You aren't going to get a How, you aren't going to get anyone else. It's the other player character. Another interesting tidbit about the rival is that they double as a thief who has stolen a mythical Pokemon as their starter. This part is both interesting and the first part I have trouble believing. It's interesting due to the fact that the rival is a thief, like Silver in Gen 2, but I find it hard to believe that for the second time in a row, a non-player character just randomly had an exceedingly rare Pokemon right at the start of the game. Next up, some of Kalos is going to be accessible before the end of the game, and the rest of the region is going to be accessible as post-game content, which is really cool because I've always enjoyed when you could access other islands, continents, regions, whatever, as post-game material, or interact with past games in some way. It just kind of helps tie together a bigger picture of the world as a whole. The champion of the new region is AZ's younger brother. I'm sure you all remember him because he had this really touching cutscene at the end of the Kalos region. I'll play a little clip of it now, but just kind of as a reminder of who he is. I found this interesting in the leak because it means that there was possibly another immortal in the game, because if it's his younger brother, he's going to have been there for the same amount of time that Az has. Next up, as far as story stuff goes, time travel is going to occur based on story-based elements. There's a footnote for this part of it where it says you're going to go back and witness some of the events of the war that happened between Kalos and Galar. And there's also a interesting tidbit that kind of ties into the Let's Go games and Pokemon Go. The Pokemon Meltan will appear in this game, although it's going to be a different form than the last one, known as Melmetal, and is going to be part of the war that took place over 3,000 years ago. For those of you who didn't play the Let's Go games, it was a new mythical Pokemon added towards the end of the story. It's a Steel type and seems to be only able to evolve in the Pokemon Go mobile game, so I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. Melmetal. Wow, that's really hard to say. Anyway, this is going to be the first instance of him being evolved in a game that's not Pokemon Go on the phone. So for this one, the evil team's goal is to rapidly modernize or industrialize the region, and this seems to be on par with most of the other evil organizations in the Pokemon games, though none of them really wanted to destroy nature this hard for some reason, so I'm not quite sure what's up with that. For the next couple of points, I lumped some stuff that was related together. So, as far as battles and gyms and stuff go, there's nothing like contests in this game. Some of the elements from contests have been carried over to gym battles, and they have a new rating system where the crowd watches the battle and gives you bonuses based on how, and this is a direct quote, cool or entertaining your battle is. What that could mean is that maybe they give you like a small defense buff or a small attack buff. I don't know. The Pokemon League is now supposed to have a World Cup aesthetic, which is kind of neat because football or soccer, if you are an English-speaking person, is really popular in the UK. The legendaries in the game are going to wield a sword and a shield respectively, and the weapons will have the crest of a wolf on them, who will be the third legendary in both games. That's really interesting to me because it kind of makes them seem like they're two different knights, one more based on attack, one based on defense. But I've also heard that the legendaries will be a Trojan horse-like Pokemon and a large snake, kind of like Seviper. So there's a lot of speculation floating around about the legendaries, though all of it I've seen points to the third legendary definitely being a wolf. And next couple I'm going to group up again because they're all related. The special form associated with this region is going to be Armored forms. This new form will be available to the starters from Johto and Kanto, as well as Sinnoh and the Galar regions. Now that's interesting because it specifies those regions, so that makes me think that like the starters from those regions are going to be available in the game, because there's not really a way to transfer in older games or older Pokemon from older games until they get the new Pokebank out. In addition to this, Charizard and Mewtwo will have special versions of Armor form called Unyielding Sword and Unbreaking Shield. I feel like the whole armor thing really fits the UK aesthetic of like knights in armor and, you know, like Arthur and his round table and, you know, that kind of stuff. With that, we've reached the end of the possibly leaked info about Sword and Shield. Be sure to leave any ideas or opinions on this information down in the comments. I'm interested to see what you thought of it. And as always, be sure to do all that other YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, share, etc. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.